Hello, guys. Welcome back to the lounge. Welcome to another Wednesday with a podcast upload. And as you guys can tell today, we're going to be reading Reddit stories from a particular subreddit, but we'll get to that later in the episode because we have a lot of things to talk about today. So first, we got to talk about what we've been up to since the last time we talked to you guys. Y'all, I was good until I wasn't. We're going to do a quick therapy session for me today. I texted Liz. I was like, is it fine if we do a mini therapy session at the beginning? Because I need it. So I don't know what happened, you guys. I feel like it got triggered on Thursday or Friday. I'm not going to go too in detail, but let's just say something was bugging my mind that has been bothering me since freshman year. And then on Sunday, I think, Sunday or Saturday, I got information that is another thing that I've been dealing with for a couple more years. I'll go more in depth, but just like not now. Maybe like during winter break or something. And I was just like, wow, like is God trying to tell me something? But I'm confused on what he's trying to tell me, you guys. Because I'm like, I've been dealing with the same patterns and thought processes for so many years now. And I'm like, okay, I feel like this is a lesson. God's trying to tell me something, but I'm not sure what. And sometimes it'd be hard to trust the process. Yo, I had tears running down my face. And once you guys like know what it is, you're gonna be like, Kennedy, why were you crying over this? But it was just like, dang, I'm just confused right now. But we're gonna try to see the happiness over it. But Liz, I'm gonna let you take it away.
It sounded like in December, we're just going to have to do a little decompressing moment. We can both get some things that have been on our chest off our chest. So just be on the lookout for December episode, you guys. But what I've been up to is I had midterms this past week, and y'all, let's just say I think last year I like barely had any exams, to be honest, like in-person exams, and I got a little bit too used to that life because to be fair, I only had 2 exams. But y'all, why was it for the same class? It was a part 1 and part 2. Part 1 was on Wednesday and then part 2 was on Friday. And yes, he did give us the question ahead of time because it's like an essay based question, but it's also like a philosophy kind of class, and like it's just a lot of like stuff and then coming up with arguments, and it was just I was going through it, but I also had like no motivation. I was like, I think Wednesday and Friday when I had my exams, I literally woke up at like 6 a.m. to like cram a little bit. And has he posted any grades? No. Do I want him to post any grades? No, because I fear that my Wednesday exam was a lot better than Friday. Let's just say that. But I'm on fall break right now, so I'm thriving until Wednesday when I have to go back to that class. But it's okay. Senioritis is really hitting. I'm so ready to be done. I'm like in the final stretch, but at the same time, like not. So I love school right now.
I'm jealous that you're on fall break. I wish I could be on fall break right now.
It was everything I needed after those exams. Let's just say that. I also had yesterday, I had been procrastinating an online exam that I had. And, it was like I had max 2.5 hours to do it. I thought, oh, it won't take me that long. No, it took me that long to do it. I submitted it with like 5 minutes left on the time. He did grade that though, and I did do like okay on it. I did good on it. So I guess it was worth the 2.5 hours of my life yesterday.
Now we're going to get into our favorites of the week. So, Liz, what have been your favorites recently?
The weather. Y'all, it is finally giving fall in the best way possible. Like I was just outside right now and I got a little cold. It's like nice and chilly. I can wear my sweats and my sweaters and it's just perfect weather. Although I feel like I have heard it's supposed to be in the 80s again next week. So I'm just going to enjoy this week of it being in the 60s and 70s because it's literally perfection.
I feel you about the weather. When I left to go to class this morning, it was so cold. Like my nose was low key about to run. I was like, war is over. I've been waiting for this. And if you're watching, you can see I have like my fall outfit still on, like my vest in a black long sleeve. Like, yes, it's fall and I'm here for it. But yeah, like Liz said, I looked at my weather app and it's supposed to be in the high 70s again next week. So, I'm going to enjoy like this low 60s weather. But my favorite of the week has been the winter arc trend. Now, if you're not familiar with it, it's basically, I've mostly seen it about people, working out, losing weight, but it's essentially just becoming like your better self within the last stretch of the year during the winter months. And so how I've taken this is slowly building like better habits into my night routine, and I'm slowly but surely doing it. I've learned that it's way better to introduce new habits into your routine slowly, because one thing about me is I'm always just going to do it all at once, and then obviously it doesn't work and stick. So different days I do different things, like add new things in, and it has definitely helped me a lot to actually stick to things. I'm still not perfect, but I've been enjoying that trend because I'm like, yes, this is the motivation I need for this time.
I've seen so much stuff about the winter arc, and honestly, I'm here for it too, because I feel like all the time you hear like hot girl summer and all this stuff, because like, oh, like you're gonna be in bathing suits and all that stuff, but in the winter you're not, and it's just like a good way to like close off the year and also like feel good about it, because I feel like a lot of times it's like, oh, like I have to wait until like New Year's, to like get the grind back on and everything. But like, why not already have that routine set, and then when New Year comes around, you're like already going into it strong. So I am here for the winter arc trend. I think it's just like, like the cozy weather and then just like feeling good about yourself too. And I think it's like, honestly, I think it's more healthy than hot girl summer, because like I said, hot girl summer, it's like, oh, like you're showing your body and everything. But in the winter, you're all covered up. You still gotta like feel good.
Exactly. I feel like winter is such an underrated trend, or such an underrated time to like go through a transformation, because everyone just thinks like, oh, covering up. But I feel like because you're covering up, it makes more sense to like, have a glow up then. So when it's time to, wear less clothing, it's like, boom, I'm here, I'm a new person.
And that's why we have a podcast together, Kennedy. We got the same ideas going.
Exactly. And with that being said, we are now going to get into the sports corner. We haven't seen this segment in a while because F1 has been on like a mini like fall break for some weird reason. It's like no one wants to work these days. I don't know. JK, but we have two different things I want to talk about with F1 this week. So one, it's race week. Whoop whoop. I'm so excited. They are hitting the Americas for the next 3 weekends. So they're going to Texas this weekend. Next weekend it's Mexico, and then the weekend after that it's South America and Brazil. So super excited about those races, especially because that means I don't have to wake up early. Whoop whoop. I don't think I have to wake up early until the very last race in Abu Dhabi, but it may be Qatar. I don't know. But all I know is for most of the races, I don't have to wake up at 7, 8 a.m. anymore. So I'm really happy about that. But what I really want to talk to you guys about is the People article. And let me get my handy dandy iPad, because I feel like we need to do some, reading straight from the source. So there's this article that really had me and a bunch of other F1 fans perplexed, to say the least. And we are going to be going in depth with this today, because I told Liz, I have things to get off my chest about this article. So the article is called Sexiest Formula One Drivers Meet the 15 Racers Who Have Our Heart Rate Speeding. Mind you, there's 20 people on the grid. The 5 people who were not made on the list, that is criminal. You should have just at least ranked all 20. Like, leaving 5 people off is actually crazy work. And what's even crazier is the ranking. So number 1, Lewis Hamilton. That's a fair one. I mean, I feel like no matter if he's your type or not, everyone can agree that he's an attractive man. Second, Charles Leclerc. Of course, I feel like that's a good ranking. Now, this is where it starts getting a little iffy for me. Third, George Russell. Now, I'm not saying that he's not attractive or anything. I think all the F1 drivers are, conventionally attractive men. But for me personally, George Russell being third is a little bit crazy. I don't know. I would say for sure he's top 10, but 3. And you'll see what's even more crazy when we go down this list, okay? Top 4. This one really perplexed me. Fernando Alonso, 4th. And let's go into this description for Fernando. Fernando Alonso is the perfect definition of tall. Y'all hear that silence? Tall. Has this writer never watched F1 in her life? Okay. Definition of tall. Dark and handsome. Okay. 5th, Max Verstappen. Crazy. Again, not saying he's ugly. We're going to keep going. 6, Pierre Gasly. I feel like that's a valid ranking. 6. I would say Pierre is definitely in the top 10. 7, Daniel Ricciardo. He's not even on the grid anymore. I don't even know if when this article came out, this was before or after Singapore. Pretty sure it was after Singapore. So, like, girl, do you even watch the sport? Now, this one really got me. Nico Hulkenberg, 8. Okay, that's definitely a choice. Now, this is where we're really getting crazy. 9th, Carlos Sainz. 10th, Lando Norris. So you're telling me George Russell and Fernando Alonso is above Carlos Sainz and Lando Norris, who should be in the top 5? Okay. And then 11, Yuki. 12, Sergio Perez. 13, Kevin, which is kind of valid. I feel like he's low-key slept on. Like, he's a very handsome man. 14th, Logan Sargent. He's not even on the F1 grid anymore. He hasn't for a while. For sure wasn't by the time she wrote this article. Yeah, I don't know. And then the last person on this list is Valtteri Bottas, which, not my cup of tea, but I think a lot of ladies love him. But I just have to point out real quick who got left off this list. Like I said, there's 20 drivers on the grid, but 5 were left off. Oscar. That is criminal. He's the classic, boy next door. Why is he not on this list? Esteban Ocon? Lance Stroll. I know he gets a lot of hate. But, I feel like, he's a handsome guy. Why isn't he on this list? Alex Albon not being on this list? Criminal. Joe. Actually, Joe. And then Franco Colapinto, which kind of makes sense because, he's, a newer rookie driver. So, obviously, it's obvious you don't keep up with the sport or probably even know who these people are since you described Fernando as tall. So, but if I was making this list, Franco would definitely be in the top 10 for me. But yeah, this list just really had me confused. And Tress, I did click on the writer, and she was a young author, very confused on her mindset. I don't think she's ever watched F1. I don't know. That's just my thoughts about the list. Feel free to comment down below your thoughts.
No, because when Kennedy sent me this article, I was laughing out loud a couple times. My thing, where is Mr. Argentinian man in this article? I feel like he deserves to be in top 10, Is he new to F1? Yes. But I feel like he's earned a spot in the top 10 compared to these other people. Yeah.
Exactly. And I'm just I'm still shook about not Carlos, about how high George, Fernando, and Max is. Carlos is right there. I'm just so confused. I don't get it.
And now we're gonna get into the pop culture and trendy topics. I know Kennedy has some things to say about the Met Gala theme. To be honest, I haven't looked into it too much, so Kennedy, go ahead and update me.
I got you. I'm gonna grab my trusty dusty iPad again. So Vogue recently announced their 2025 Met Gala theme. So the theme of the Met Gala is super fine tailoring black style, and it is drawing inspiration from Monica L. Miller's 2009 book Slaves to Fashion, Black Dandyism and the Stylings of Black Diasporic Identity. The exhibit will feature garments, paintings, photographs, and more, all exploring the idealable style of Black men in the context of dandyism from the 18th century through present day. And who is the host of the Met Gala, you may be asking? Coleman Domingo, Lewis Hamilton, A$AP Rocky, Pharrell Williams, and Anna Wintour, alongside honorary chair LeBron James. And question for the audience, how many people is going to walk away from the Met Gala getting canceled this year?
After listening to that description, I still don't know what that means.
Honestly, me either. I just assume it means black fashion throughout the histories. Yeah, I don't know. I know Lewis Hamilton, he posts on Instagram a picture of a guy in a suit. So I just assume it's going to be very classic tailored styles. But it's going to be interesting to see how women can dress in this style. Because I'm pretty sure, it's the theme, it seems like it's geared towards black. Oh no, I was about to say black men, but just black style in general. So I don't know. This shall be interesting to say the least.
I'm very curious to see how some, fashion people interpret this. I feel like some people might be getting canceled.
I think the white designers need to come correct this year.
And with that, the moment I have been waiting for, we're going to discuss the Aspyn drama. Now, this is I feel like this is kind of a niche audience. I'm not even gonna lie. I feel like this is a if you know type of situation. Anything you want to add before we go, deep dive into it, Kennedy?
Nope, but I'm sat for this conversation.
Okay, so basically, you guys, I've been waiting to talk about this. So, Aspyn Ovard is a one of the I think we've kind of mentioned the drama before a little bit, but she's one of the OG YouTubers, like when YouTube was really becoming a thing and like vlogging and everything. So she's one of those YouTubers, okay? And she got married like super young. I think she was like 19 at most, honestly, like straight out of high school, married her high school sweetheart, Parker, right? So her and Parker, they're married. They like have some houses in Utah. They have kids. I think they have two kids, and then they recently had a third kid, right? Now, here's where the tea really starts. With baby number 3, while she was like pregnant, I think like the last Instagram post with both of them is actually like their baby moon for baby number 3. And then around this time, like after the baby moon, these rumors start coming out that like they're separated and everything. And people are like, no, I was one of the people who's like, no, like, what are we talking about? Like, she's literally about to give birth. What do you mean she's separated from her husband, who she just went on a baby moon with, right? Well, little did we know, we were in for a shock because baby number 3 is born, and the rumors, they kind of like died down a little bit. So me and Kennedy, we were like, oh, like it was just a rumor, whatever. No, because then she comes out with she's getting a divorce, you guys. Like, high school sweethearts have 3 kids, literally just gave birth to the new one, and they're getting a divorce, right? And you think like, oh, like that's it. No, because y'all, she's gone like rogue on TikTok, and I'm living for the content. She's making like all of these TikToks, and at first she was like, "Oh, like I'm not going to talk about the divorce, right?" But the recent TikToks that she be like posting beg to say otherwise, because it's things like the craziest one that she literally posted was, there was this whole like drama where the like her ex mother-in-law or something like posted on her Instagram something about like Mama Bear or something, and like post like a poll like if you want to know the other side of the story. And then Aspyn posted a TikTok with her ex Parker, and she's sitting on his lap, and she's like, I might not be the mama, but like I'm the mother or something like that. And then she posted an even more out of pocket one. Oh no, she's like laying on him, you guys. Like, but I'm sitting here living for the content. Anything you want to add, Kennedy?
Yeah, but before like all of that, so like she was like, yeah, I'm not going to talk about it out of privacy for like my kids and whatever. And then there's this random TikTok, and basically she was like, for my next relationship, I don't want someone who's gonna gaslight me, accuse me of cheating, who actually has a job, makes money. Now, mind you, this guy like essentially like they work together, but he like did like back like behind the scenes stuff, like editing and like I think photography maybe. And I was shook. I was like, what? And then like a day or two after that, someone went back to one of her old TikToks where it was like, how do I have 2 kids in my row, but my husband gets the one seat by himself and he's not helping? And I think someone was like, it all makes sense now. And Aspen was basically like, yeah. So it's just been a lot of tea, and it's like it goes from like, oh, like maybe something happened, and then we get the TikToks of them like being all up on each other. And Aspen's mom, or not Aspen's mom, Parker's mom posted something, so I'm thinking, oh, maybe it's like mother-in-law drama. Oh wait, I forgot to say, she also like hinted that like Parker or like other people have been lying to her for like 10 years. So I assume that means lying to her through like their whole relationship. So yeah, I don't know. It's just like a lot of like back and forth going on. And I'm like, girl, give us the tea. Give us the tea.
No, because before we like started recording, I got another TikTok where she basically posted she was like looking for like a rebound, like something like that. And it was basically at the end she's like said something like, if my ex would like, if he had to say, my ex could, like, I could basically get my ex back if I wanted to, type thing. Like he would take me back, something like that. And I'm just like, I understand the whole like privacy for the kids, but we just need to know at this point, especially after her doing like the TikTok about like, oh, like things I'm not looking for in my new relationship, and like calling him out basically for everything. I'm like, just tell us why. But like, I just need to know why, what caused this divorce, especially because they were literally high school sweethearts, like, and then they have 3 kids. They literally just had a child too. Like, what happened?
But then I remember there like the rumors happened like, or the rumors showed that like she literally filed for a divorce like I think the day that their 3rd daughter was born. I think that's what the Redditors pulled up.
Basically, we just need to know what happened. I also there's this TikToker that I get on my For You page sometimes. Her name's Avery Woods, and she's like a mom talk type of person, and she also has a podcast. And Aspyn was a guest on her podcast that just dropped. So I'm gonna have to be like tuning in on TikTok and looking for clips to see if she says anything, because so far all the podcasts she's been on, she hasn't really said anything. But then on her YouTube, she be posting all this other stuff. Not her YouTube, her TikTok.
Okay, I just remember what I was going to say earlier. So, why I think there's more about the mother-in-law drama is because I remember someone was like, oh, like, you say you want privacy for your kids, but, you know, like, you're posting about it. And she, like, responded to it. And she was like, well, my kids in the future could be like, you really ate grandma up with that one TikTok. So I'm like, ooh, like, what is this tea?
I will continue to literally just go onto her TikTok and see if she has posted anything else in hopes that she tells us what happened.
And now we're going to get into what we are watching. And I really apologize if you can hear the train near my apartment going by. But first, I watched the Menedez Brothers doc recently on Netflix. And honestly, to me, because I've have known about the case for years, I've watched videos about the case before. So like for me, the documentary didn't tell me anything new, but it was still like interesting to hear more from the boys specifically, because they did say some things. I was like, this is very interesting that they would think this way. I feel like it definitely kind of shows the mindset of children who were abused by both parents in a way, even though like their mother didn't do anything, but like, you know, she turned a blind eye. Because it was very interesting to me how they would, you know, kind of say like the kindest things about their parents, but then say kind of like the worst things about their parents. I just thought that was very interesting. And I have watched the court clips before in like past YouTube videos about, you know, the specifics of the abuse they endured. And oh my gosh, I swear it was harder to watch it this time around. It's like, it's just absolutely disgusting. And so it makes me even more madder when I just hear people even now try to say like, oh, they were wrong for murdering their parents, which like, yes, murder is wrong, but like, in my opinion, I feel like it's self-defense. I mean, and I forgot like this was even an aspect, but a lot of people think like the abuse was just when they were younger. But for the youngest brother, I believe that abuse was going on until they literally killed their parents. Like, because Lyle and Eric had a conversation, and I can't remember at this moment who was who, but the younger brother told the other brother, like, yeah, it's still going on. And that's when the older brother was like, okay, we're going to do this plan. So this is like, people, they were getting abused and it was still going on for a very long time.
I still haven't finished like the monster show, and I honestly don't think I'll be finishing it. Just like hearing it, like I feel like it wasn't graphic in the sense of showing anything, but just hearing everything, even though it wasn't like directly from them, it was just like a different level of trauma as a secondhand person like watching it. But I think I'll eventually watch the documentary because I think it's a really interesting case like overall. So I have been continuing to watch Gilmore Girls because literally it's when people say this is fall vibes, they weren't lying, you guys. It's literally perfection. I'm at the end of season 1 still. Again, I will repeat what I said last week. I am still just waiting for Lorelai and Luke to get together because the chemistry is totally there. And I feel like right now where I'm at, I don't really think this is a spoiler because yeah, it's not a spoiler, but basically where I'm at right now, it's like they both, I feel like, sense that there's like a vibe, but neither one of them wants to say it. So there was like a scene where she was like, is there a reason for it to be weird? He's like, no. Is there a reason for it to be weird for you? And she's like, no. Like they're just both waiting for the other one to say something. And I know it's not going to happen because I know people who like are way more into it and they're like, it still hasn't happened. And I'm like, I just need them to be together already. And now, the moment Kennedy and I have both been waiting for. Side note, I still haven't finished it. But we are both watching Outerbanks season 4 part 1. Kennedy finished it, and I have like 20 minutes left of the last episode.
Wow, can I say? In my opinion, I think this is one of the best seasons so far. Because for me, season 3, it hit like a little bit of lull, but season 4, I was hooked. In the beginning, y'all, I got notes on my phone, so if you see me looking down, when I tell y'all, JJ made me so mad in like the first episodes. When I tell you, oh wait, we're gonna get like spoilerly in this section, so if you haven't watched it, don't listen to this. But JJ made me so mad. Why y'all let him why y'all let him do that? Y'all, I have no words.
No, because if you're still listening to this, go ahead and skip to the Song of the Week section because I'm going to give more spoilers. Okay, 3, 2, 1, you should have skipped by now. The way he spent literally all of the money on the property, like, it's not even like an amazing property. It's literally the house by the swamp. Like, you spent $700,000 on that? What?
Exactly. I'm like, they should have just spent money building back up the chateau. And like I saw one comment and someone was like, well, they just wanted to, build on Pogelandia or build Pogelandia because like his house is by the water. I can't remember if John B's house was by the water, but I'm like, so I don't care. $700,000 for that little rankedy house. You're sick. You're actually sick. Me and JJ would have actually been fighting.
No, because I'm surprised Pope didn't try to fight him more than he did. Because the way that place went from literally like the bet started at 80,000 to 700,000 is actually insane. And then after pulling that stunt, he goes and he spends the rest of the money. Like, what?
Yeah, he spends all the money on like a motorbike race. You guys, you cannot make this up. You cannot make this up. And mind you, in general, there's like 3 of them, not 3 of them, oh my god, 5 of them, I think, 5, 6 of them, sharing $1.1 million. So that's like $200K each. And JJ already spent $700K, and they decided to pull everything together. So he don't spend his share and like more than half of the other people's share. And then he decides, oh, I'm gonna bet on this race. He messes up. Literally, the race starts and his bike doesn't start. And then, they all just, they just fight dirty with each other. So, of course, things go down. He was in the lead, but then that freaking Topper went, which Topper, I see his face and I just want to barf.
I truly don't know what they were thinking by even giving him access to take out money out of that account. Like, y'all know this man. Y'all know his past. Come on now.
No, literally, Pope should have been in charge of the money. And then another scene that really got me is a scene where they're at the beach. Liz already knows they're at the beach because it's a good day for the waves. And they spot some turtles, and here comes some agitated voices. Topper and Ruthie, I think, his girlfriend. I hate her so bad. Oh my god, that scene, all I want to say is Key should have whooped some. Ooh, I would have been swinging.
No, but who even is this girl? She literally came out of nowhere and she want to have speaking parts? Like, who are you? Know your place. And the way Topper, not to defend Topper, but Topper didn't even want to mess with them. Like, he was okay with the truce or whatever, and then she want to act all tough and do that. Like, no.
She want to act tough and then get mad when JJ threatened them and want to call the cops and tries to sue them. Like, I'm gonna need y'all to be so for real right now. I have something else to say, but I don't know. So Liz, what is JJ's vibe right now? Has he learned any information that's shocking?
So, some father kind of came back. What is it with the fathers and coming back? Where I'm at right now, JJ, he got the letter and he read it and he's with his dad and he's explain why this man mentioned you and Albatross. That's where I'm at. And right now they're on the boat running away from the cops because they showed up. Yeah, right. But I have a feeling it's about to go down. I don't know what to expect though for the way it's gonna go down. Oh, I'm also at the part, y'all. I've gotten so many TikToks of this. Rafe coming to Key at the little Pogelandia shop or whatever, and people are like, oh, she's scared. No, y'all, I will forever be a Rafe and Key stan. Y'all, the chemistry and the tension that we were getting from them last season, yeah, no, that's the part where I'm at right now.
Wait, I have 2 things to say. So during the conversation with his dad, there wasn't nothing that shook you?
I don't think they've had a super deep conversation yet. Nothing's been revealed, I don't think.
Okay. I just can't wait till you finish that episode. And then second, oh my gosh, I am with Liz. I am such a Rafe and Key stan. I think even the actors are it doesn't make sense. But I'm y'all are not seeing the vision. This would be the perfect enemies to lovers situation. And okay, they may have had their beef, but I swear to God, they definitely hooked up or something in the past. You could not tell me they didn't.
Exactly what I'm saying. okay, I understand not having them be in game, which I don't, but like whatever. Well, I'll give y'all that. But there is something that went on between them because the way that they act, it's like I'm not going to talk about it, you're not going to talk about it, like it never happened kind of vibe. Like what happened? Something definitely happened. And keep in mind like Key and Sarah were like besties before Key went back with the pose and everything. So I have a feeling there was like some like best friend's brother kind of vibes going on there, and I need I need to know. I need to have a little glimpse into the past, especially after there were so many scenes last season where like Rafe was like on his little like, psychopath killer era, and he was like had a little soft spot for Miss Key. I wonder why.
Exactly. And I feel like he just always goes to Key. I don't know. And I feel like, okay, even if like blah blah blah, which y'all haters be saying like it doesn't make sense, they don't like each other. If anything, I feel like he still has a soft spot for her. Like Liz said, like Key and Sarah were like besties back in the day before Key was like hanging with the Pogues. So I don't know. I think there's something there, and I think it would be a missed opportunity because I'm tired of Sophia. Get that girl out my face. Actually, I do like her more as the episode's gone, but in the beginning, I did not really like her.
No, because same, I honestly didn't realize that she was like a character that's been in the show. But yeah, I think she was like in the show last season or something. But I like Sophia. I'm not even gonna lie. I am a little sad though because I feel like it is gonna go downhill once Ray finds out some key information. But I will say, like after the stuff that she heard him saying, she had every right to go act the way that she did. It's not her fault that he was giving mixed signals. Like I do like Sophia, but I like Key and Rafe even more. And y'all, Rafe, he looks so good this season. That buzz cut, the tan, him with the glasses. Yep.
Yeah, Rafe looking too good this season. That buzz cut. Yeah. What is with these TV shows? The villain has a buzz cut. Him, The Hunger Games. Yeah.
And if there's one thing about like me and Kennedy that we have in common is that I don't know why I'm blanking on his like actual Drew Starkey. Drew Starkey can work any hairstyle. You want some bleach, he got it. Buzz cut, grown out, he can work every single hairstyle, and I will stand by that statement till the day I die.
What you said, like I just get TikToks of him, and I'm like, the aura that man has. I need him.
And before we continue on a tangent, we're gonna move on to the song of the week. So, welcome back. If you had to skip ahead, go watch Outerbanks so you can go listen to what you missed. So now we're gonna get into our song of the week. I am continuing the Gracie Abrams trend from the last episode. If you saw me in the beginning, I was on my phone because I was listening to like past episodes to see what songs I had done because I was like, it's kind of embarrassing if I do the same song already. And I don't think I've done this song before, but if I have, it's just too good, So, and continuing with Miss Gracie, we're gonna do Free Now. Like I said, Gracie is the perfect like depressing but like fall comfort vibes, I feel like. So here's my favorite part of this song. Something about her vocals will just do it for me every single time.
So I'm also coming with what I think is like a fall vibe song, except more upbeat and like horror movie. So the exact opposite, but still fall in my eyes. And it's called Insane in the Brain by Cypress Hill. I'm just so weak at the different songs from us this week. So I'm going to just play a little part. I'm sure you guys have like heard it in movies and stuff, especially if you watch the Fear Street trilogies on Netflix. This song is in those movies. So yeah, that's my song of the week.
Personally, I love the little added membrane dance there that you did, Kennedy.
Thank you. I'm here every day this week. And now, y'all, I've been so excited for this episode because I love listening to podcasts that cover Reddit stories. And today we are doing that as well. So I think I should give a little background. So Reddit, it's another social media type platform. And there's different like communities on there and like threads and things like that. So there's this one specific subreddit called Am I the A-hole? But there's like different variations. There's like Am I the A-hole? AITA, AITAH. So these all come from the Am I the A-hole? I'm obviously, censoring myself a little bit. So basically, this subreddit, people come to it with their own dilemmas, and basically they get voted whether they're the a-hole or not in the situation. And there could be some really crazy stories on there. So if you haven't like looked through that subreddit or even listened to like podcasts that cover Reddit stories, I definitely would. I really like 2 hot takes. So yeah, so that's basically what we're gonna be talking about. I feel like our theme today is mostly, about friendship stories, which I feel like we can say a lot on. I feel like maybe I should do some, information to help you guys understand the stories if you never listen. So if I say OP, that means original poster. And then the way these stories are like read, so it's usually like and then there's like an age and a gender. So for example, my story starts off 25 male and 25 female. So the poster is 25 male, and then the other person he's talking about in the story is 25 female. So I think that makes sense, because I know when I first started listening and reading Reddit stories, I got confused. So I'm gonna let Liz go first because I feel like I've been talking too much.
I will say, when I was like looking for the one that I wanted to do, I went like on a deep dive overall of just like scrolling through some of these stories. Like, if you're ever bored and you're looking for something to do, literally go on Reddit and just look through these threads, because some of these stories are actually insane. Kind of felt like I was reading a movie plot. Okay, so I'll go ahead and read mine. So, am I the a-hole for overlapping romantic relationships? I got into a dispute with my girlfriend, May, a few days ago. I apologize and things seem to be fine now, but I still am left with a feeling of uneasiness about the whole thing. She learned that I was still in a relationship with my previous girlfriend, April, when I was beginning to see her. Some important points. 1. My relationship with April was in its death throes. By this point, she and I were seeing other people and kind of deciding for ourselves if our relationship was worth salvaging. April and I were both aware that we were seeing other people, and we were ready to accept the relationship ending if one of us wanted to. 2. Meeting May was a chance encounter. There's a strong likelihood that I never would have seen her again, and had I not set the ball rolling then and there. 3. I officially broke things off with April before my 3rd date with May. May and I were officially a thing by the end of our 4th date. 4. April and I kept contact during this time, but she and I did not at any point meet, nor did either of us have the intention to. From May's POV. 1. I was obligated to let May know that I was seeing someone else. April and I not seeing each other, notwithstanding, the mere fact that April and I were still a thing was pertinent information. 2. And not telling May that I was seeing someone else, I was depriving her of the freedom that I had to see others. Even though May and I were not officially exclusive, there's an expectation that we were, unless otherwise explicitly stated. 3. The way I handled things made May feel that I was giving her a test drive and holding on to April as a safety net if things didn't work out. My thoughts. 1. I don't think May would have agreed to go on a date had she known that I was still somewhat together with April. Besides, I didn't think it would be pertinent information until she and I were seriously considering a relationship. Up until that point, both May and I were effectively single and eligible. It wouldn't have bothered me if she went on dates with other guys before we became a couple. I don't feel like I deprived her of anything more than that info itself. 2. I definitely did not see my dates with May as a test drive. I took the relationship seriously from date number 1. That I was together with April is merely a formality. In the end, I apologized to May. It's clear that whatever I did bothered her, so I assured her that she could trust me. It seems to have made her feel better, and I'm glad. But I can't help but wonder, am I the a-hole for overlapping relationships? If so, would there have been a way for me not to be the a-hole and still date May?
Respectfully, sir, what were you thinking? See, I can see 2 sides to the story. From the girl's perspective, it is like, I the fact that they are technically still together, I feel like that's cheating. You know what I mean? Okay, actually, I don't see 2 sides of the story because they were still together. That's literally cheating. Now, if him and his girlfriend were like not dating and he was still seeing her, I feel like it would still be bad, but not that bad because like technically he's single. But technically, you're not single, sir, and you're seeing someone else. And especially if he was like, well, I was serious about was the new girlfriend May. Yeah, if you're serious about May from the first date, like you shouldn't have even still been dating your ex. I don't know. I would just be scared that he would do the same thing to me, honestly.
Exactly. And I feel like, I don't know, I feel like him and April, like him and the now ex, like having that agreement, like, okay, cool, whatever. But I feel like he should have still like told May, like, oh, by the way, I'm like I'm still kind of seeing someone. It's really rocky right now and we're both exploring other options, like something like that. Like I do understand the whole like, oh, like she wouldn't have gone out on a date with me. And like if she chose not to, she's justified in that. I feel like at that point, I don't understand why him and May were really not him and May. I don't understand why him and April were still together if they both knew that it was ending. Like why are y'all still holding on to that?
Exactly. That part of the story doesn't make sense for me. And yeah, they're just wasting each other's time. And he should have just been open from the very beginning to just avoid all of this. And like, okay, maybe I don't know if this is like manipulative, but maybe tell her after the date, like, oh, like I had a great time. Just to let you know, like I'm in a bit of a situation with my ex, even though she wasn't an ex. I don't know. I just think he should have been very open about the situation from the beginning.
Exactly. And I'm also like really curious to know like when did he end up telling May about this? Cuz I mean, I'm like rereading the post and I don't think he really says like when he ended up telling her. Like did he tell her like when they became official? Oh like, oh by the way, like I literally just broke up with my ex, you know. Or was it like later on in the relationship he told her like how far are we talking when he finally like opened up about the truth?
In the story, does it say how long him and his now girlfriend have been dating?
I don't see anything about it because I think all it says is they became official after the fourth date, but it doesn't say anything like about like their timeline, you know? I feel like he's kind of like choosing to not give us some information, to not disclose certain details. Also, the fact that overlapping romantic relationships, like, is that not just cheating? Are you like coming up with fancy ways to say that?
No, literally. I think he's very much picking and choosing what information we see him. See, that's one thing about these stories. Some of these OPs be very biased, but I would say he's the a-hole. Is there like an official like rating on the post, like what they said?
Yeah, officially he is labeled as a whole.
Good. And now for my story, we're going into the friendship theme. So this one is, am I the a-hole for matching my friend's energy when it comes to our friendship? I, 25 male and 25 female friend that I'll call C, have been friends since high school. Since last year, I've noticed that she's been treating me more like an option than a friend, as in texting me super dry, just leaving reactions to messages or posts I sent her, to leaving me on scene for hours and texting me a super dry response. Around New Year's, I made my resolution to start matching energy with people, especially people that are dry and hit me up out of convenience. A couple years ago, we did go to this nice restaurant that seemed like a resort in the city for her birthday. It was a nice experience, but the usual unnecessarily expensive restaurant with food you can get at a normal restaurant for a whole lot less experience. So that restaurant shut down and moved to an island that you have to take a ferry to. We did say at some point during summer this year we would go in at least to celebrate her birthday, but nothing has changed. I've always had to initiate conversations with her and get nothing but dry responses back, and she only ever texts out of convenience. Example, she asked for my Hulu password and then went about her day. Last month, I called her to ask her opinion on my dentist appointment, and the conversation shifted to her asking if we were still friends because I barely talk to her now, and if we were still going to the restaurant to celebrate her belated birthday. Yesterday, she texted me if we were still on for the restaurant, and I responded no. This morning, she texted back asking, is it because I forgot or because I didn't want to hang out with her anymore? I don't know how to respond. I understand we have our own lives going on, both being grown adults with jobs, relationships, and responsibilities. I know she has her own mental battles that could possibly lead her to shut down from time to time, but I'm just tired of putting effort towards someone that doesn't seem to be trying.
Why that kind of hit a little close. Um, I think that this person is so valid. I would automatically go on and say that they are not the a-hole. See, when I first like saw like the title, I was thinking like matching the energy, like high energy, you know, like vibing, and I was like, no, like I was caught a little off guard. But matching this type of energy, I agree. I feel like sometimes I don't know, it's just like the whole like drifting apart, and it seems like the other friend doesn't want to drift apart, but at the same time actions speak a lot louder than words, and it seems like they're not even trying. So why should you keep on putting in all the effort, you know?
No, because when I read this story, I was like, is this play about us? No, but yeah, definitely not the a-hole. I have definitely learned by now my lesson. If someone's not matching your energy, they gotta go. Honestly, and like, see, people like see in this story get on my nerves because it's like they only hit you up when it's convenient, yet still somehow live in this delusional world where it's like, it doesn't seem like you really want to talk to me a lot because you don't seem like you want to talk to me a lot. Like, it's just crazy how like disconnected people can be from that type of situation. Like the fact that you guys don't talk and she only hits you up for a password and then you don't hear from her for a little bit and she's like wondering. I'm just like, girl, what are you going through? And I totally understand mental health battles as well. I personally have never gone through a mental health challenge that has led me to not contact people like that, but I guess that could be a factor as well. But I don't know. I feel like when you're going through mental battles, sometimes the people you want to lean to the most in those times are friends and family. But I know everyone's different. Not everyone has that support system, but it's just interesting the behavior.
And I feel like that, even just like a heads up, or like, oh, I'm going through something, like if you don't see me like being like as close, it's because I'm going through something, you know? Just like a heads up type thing, rather than just like completely ghosting the person. Also, just the fact that they were like going to go to an expensive restaurant. So I feel like if I'm going to be spending out of my own pocket money, I hope I'm spending it for some. I'm not doing this just for like anyone, you know? And I don't know. I feel like if you haven't been talking for a while, it's kind of at that point just getting stranger. So it's like, why would I go and spend expensive money on someone that's basically a stranger type, you know? Like, I feel like you shouldn't be expected. And I think it's that part. It's the fact that they were expected to still go and spend that money.
Exactly. And it's like, since the restaurant has moved, not only are you spending money on an expensive dinner, but then you also have to spend money to get there through the ferry, which I don't think that's still expensive, but that's still a transportation cost. And the fact that, like, every time y'all talk, you have to initiate the conversation and you're a dry texter, like the person responding to a dry texter. It's like, why would you even bother putting in effort anymore? Like, it's basically like talking to dry texters is like talking to a brick wall, honestly.
That part. And then like the whole Hulu thing, that was actually crazy. Like I feel like that's just embarrassing for the other, the not the like person typing, but the friend. Like you haven't texted this person in a minute, and the first thing you ask is for the Hulu password. No, like hi, hello, how are you? How have you been? Like at least fake it till you make it.
No, literally. And I know they saw that time jump when they sent the text. Like, you probably were like, ooh, we haven't texted in a minute. But there you go again, not even asking how they are. Like, you just want something from this person. You want their Hulu password. You want them to spend your birthday with you. But you can't even, check in on them. Yeah, definitely not the a-hole. I would cut them off.
What Kennedy said, this person is so valid. My next story also has to do with friendship. Seems like we're following a little trend. Honestly, I didn't even read this one fully, so I think I'll be in for a shock too. Okay, so this one is titled, Am I the a-hole for telling someone she's a common denominator in her failed friendships? I've been with my partner? Yeah, I've been with my partner for a year now and have met most of his friends. He's very close to his friend group from high school, which I think is very sweet. His best friend is getting married next year, and my boyfriend is one of his groomsmen, so we've been spending more time with his friend group lately. I'm admittedly not super keen on one of his friends, S, but I've always just chalked it up to personality differences. She's quite loud and dominates conversations a lot, but it's not like I don't like her, I just find her a bit much. We were in a Zoom with boyfriend's friends, shooting shit, and the wedding came up. At one point, we were talking about outfits, etc., and S said how much she hates shopping and was dreading going shopping. She made a weird comment about how she's so not girly and one of the guys, which I found immature. She's a grown woman after all, but I didn't say anything. S asked if I knew what I was wearing, and I said no, but I had planned to go shopping with a friend of mine who had also an event coming up. I was going to ask S if she'd like to come with us, but she interrupted saying, "Oh, that's so cute. I just don't like stuff like that. I don't hang out with other girls. I just prefer being with the guys." Which I really found patronizing, to be honest. It was clear I was annoyed and the conversation kind of took a turn. Me. So you never had a friendship with another woman before? S. No, I have. I just find a lot of girls petty and catty. Don't you? Me. No, I don't. I'm friends with lots of women. We compliment each other, go shopping together, and occasionally share pastry sometimes. S. Oh, I could never. Girls always talk behind my back. Me. You know, if every single relationship you've ever had with another woman has gone sour, there's a common denominator there, and it's the fact that they're other women. It's probably you. And it's not the fact that they're other women, it's probably you. A couple others laughed and tried to move on to a different topic of conversation, but it was clear S was angry. She logged off early and later texted my boyfriend and said I was way out of line. He replied and told her I didn't think so, and if she was one of the guys, she should be used to a bit of gentle ribbing every now and then. I feel a bit bad because although I felt hurt by her comments, she seems quite insecure to me. Plus, it's not really my friendship group, so I may have been a bit overbearing. Am I the a-hole?
Nah, girl, you ate her up. You clocked her teeth real bad because the worst person to ever exist is a girl who is not a girl's girl. Because what do you mean girls are too much drama and you're one of the boys? Ew, cringe. And yeah, the common denominator is probably her with that attitude.
Literally. And then the fact that she like goes to the boyfriend then expecting the boyfriend to like take her side or something. Also, love the boyfriend in situation, standing by his girlfriend. Yeah, he ate with that. And if there's anything that's worse, it's a person who's not a girl's girl who isn't self-aware of it. I feel like if you're not going to be a girl's girl, you should at least be self-aware of like you might have some issues and it might be you.
And I think OP got it right. Like, it definitely seems like the girl, was it S, is very insecure. We don't know nothing about her past, but I'm sure there's probably been girls that have maybe, effed her over, and maybe that's why she has trust issues. But to be one of the boys, that's a little like, okay, girl. And the boyfriend, he ate her up too, talking about if you're one of the boys, you should be able to take it. And I'm like, period. And I feel like as if she should have just contacted the girlfriend, honestly, like that is not her boyfriend situation, which I guess you might feel more comfortable talking to him because they're in the same friend group. But it's like, girl, if you can dish it, you better take it.
That part, and then especially where she was kind of like starting to like instigate, like asking like, oh, like you don't find girls like petty. I feel like if anything, S is the one being petty in the situation, bringing in the boyfriend into like the whole like contacting and everything and like expecting him to take her side and everything. You're the one who's being petty. It's not all the girls, it's just you.
And the way she was like, all girls do talk down on each other or whatever, talk behind their backs. But here she is talking about, oh, well, you don't find girls this, and this. You're the one saying all the negative things about being friends with girls, while OP is like, no, actually, I have many girlfriends and it's actually amazing. Like, what?
Yeah, I think S is definitely projecting some insecurities onto other women. Definitely do not think that this person is the a-hole.
I agree. So now onto the last story of this episode. And this one was posted 2 years ago. And the title is, Am I the a-hole for snitching and causing my friend to lose her scholarship/dream college acceptance? I, 19 female, am a sophomore in college and have a friend, Tia, 18 female, who is in high school and applying for colleges and scholarships. I helped her throughout the college process, and she ended up getting an early action to her top college, and she got a full scholarship. I was happy for her until recently. I was talking to a mutual friend of ours, and she started gushing about how Tia's essay was so heartfelt and beautiful. I asked to see it because I thought she had just forgotten to show me. She showed me many of her essay drafts, but as I was reading it, I was completely taken aback. The essay was one of my college essay drafts, which I'd shown to Tia for reference on writing techniques only. I made this clear. I was livid. The essay was really personal and she barely even tweaked it up. It was almost entirely copied and pasted. I trusted her with it, and this is what she did. In a fit of rage, I gathered all the evidence of me helping her with the college process, including evidence of me sending the specific essay to her, and I showed it to the school. She not only lost her scholarship, but she also lost her seat in the school. Now people are calling me dramatic and shaming me for robbing her of her education. She's the only person in her family to get into college and receive an academic and athletic scholarship, so everyone was rooting for her, including me at one time. And while I didn't expect the outcome to be so severe, I was. Right now, I feel bad. I feel terrible. I feel like she took advantage of me, but I didn't want to be the cause of something so horrible. I did myself a justice, but at the cost of someone's dream. Now I'm wondering if what I did was justified or not. Am I the a-hole? And there is an edit, but I'll read it after we discuss a little.
Yeah, absolutely not. I feel like there's one thing between like you helping them and them completely stealing your story, especially if it's a story that's like very personal to you. like completely just taking it and making it your own. I don't know. I don't think she's in the wrong for calling her out and getting the school involved.
And honestly, if Tia would have got caught up at this point, she most likely would have got caught up in the future. Like, basically, copying someone's essay word for word, bar for bar, is insane. And the fact that she had the confidence to show other people that essay, knowing that she copied it bar for bar, is insane. Like, I'm just so confused on how she didn't think it would get back to OP, because I assume since someone told her, like, she obviously knew they're like, they're friends, like there's a connection. So just very interesting. And like, it does suck that she lost her scholarship and all that, especially because she was the first one in the family. But it's like, play stupid games, get stupid prizes. So
No, and then like the fact that she plagiarized her way into college and then thought she was gonna be okay throughout college. From the get-go, you already on the wrong path. Don't know how she really thought she was gonna get away. Like, maybe she got away with this, but like later on, she already like set in stone like how she was going to, get through school. That's just actually insane. Do I feel a little bit of bad that she got kicked out and lost everything? Sure. But at the same time, it's like you reap what you sow.
exactly. And like in college, they do not play about plagiarism at all. And I'm like thinking, if I was OP, honestly, I don't think what she did was wrong. Like, yes, Tia needs to, have some consequences. I'm not that type of like confrontational person, so I probably would have just went off on Tia and just never talked to her again. But I don't think OP did a bad thing. Like, Tia got a lesson today. And I'll like quickly read the edit. So basically, she just said, first of all, thank you to everyone who offered kind words and reassurance. You guys helped me realize that I wasn't in the wrong. And I guess some people were calling her like, you were wrong in the situation. So she was just like, all the nasty, you're the a-hole comments, you guys also helped me realize I wasn't wrong. Someone said that they hope all the Tia apologists are worked on, what? I don't know what this is. Oh, are worked on by doctors who cheated throughout medical school and have their houses worked on by cheating electricians. And then secondly, she was just like, okay, I didn't realize this was going to blow up. So yeah, she came back at the haters.
Yeah, no, she ate with the whole little doctor thing.
Oh, and obviously the overall vote of the post was that she was not the a-hole, which I completely agree with.
And the way that some of these oh my gosh, the way that some of these stories are like even more crazy than the stuff that me and Kennedy read, you guys. Like, some of this stuff, I swear, like, no way that was real life.
Yeah, so for sure, if you guys want us to do like a part 2 on some crazy Reddit stories, I'm sure we can find some crazy ones. So just let us know, because I really like this episode.
And with that, thank you guys so much for listening. If you made it this far into the episode, make sure that you give us a good rating on whatever platform you're listening on, and follow us on all of our socials. And we'll see you guys next week. Well, you'll see us next week if you're watching on YouTube. But anyways, peace out until next week, you guys, on the Girls Lounge with Liz and KT. Bye.
Bye.